Welcome to Brainstorm MTG. I'm ELD, and this is Fast Effect Double Speed Magic the Gathering. This is from the Scholars Games Dual Land Tournament on April 28th. And here we have the man, the myth, the meme, Jerry Meme on, of course, Sneak and Show versus Todd on a Affinity/Robots list here. We'll see exactly how high end of the curve he's going. But Jerry leading off with a Ponder and a basic island, standard operating procedure for him. Todd, on the other hand, Ancient Tomb and a double Lotus Petal, far more explosive. We'll see what he's able to do with that mana. He can show with 4 mana, could just end the game on the spot. But here we see what looks to be a Vault Scourge and 1 mana floating, and then a Thorn of Amethyst, main deck card. That is going to hate all over Jerry's well-laid plans here. Ancient Tomb, City of Traders into Lotus Petal and a Preordain. Looks like he's got the Show and Tell in hand. Does he have the goods to go with it? We see a Jace as well. That is not Eureka. So Show and Tell not going to get a Jace into play. And Todd slowly regaining his life with that Vault Scourge. Got a Mishra's Factory. And Chalice of the Void coming in at 0. That's going to shut off some of Jerry's acceleration in the form of Lotus Petal. Interesting decision. Would expect to see Chalice at 1 more often there. And there is a Show and Tell. Chalice at 0 again, and Omniscience. Jace with the mana floating. So casting Omniscience. And gonna Fate Seal himself, trying to keep that Jace alive here. Factory and Vault Scourge would have been able to team up to get him out of there. Even bouncing Vault Scourge. Odd with a couple of Chalice at 0 on board. Thanks to Show and Tell. Attacking Jace. Then a 4 mana Lodestone Golem. So spell's going to be 2 more to play now. Really counteracting a lot of the work Omniscience can do. Jerry going to really need to find a Gristlebrand or an Emrakul pretty darn quick. And a 3 mana Brainstorm. Hoping to find a fetch land. It looks like he's got exactly that. So Jace here can team up with that fetch land to see 3 new cards. Ooh, and just digging just 1 deeper. And there's the Gristlebrand. So he's already got it. And he should be in great shape here unless Todd somehow has a way to get this out of here. Gristlebrand, and there's the Emrakul. He has assembled the team through double Sphere Effect. Going to discard in his extra turn, and Todd scoops it up. So Jerry playing through that main deck hate and earning the check mark in game 1. See what Todd's able to do here against one of the most dangerous decks in Legacy, in a lot of ways underrated. I think for people outside the format, they see a deck like Sneak and Show and kind of assume it must be unbeatable. The ability to just get things like turn 1 Gristlebrand or Emrakul just so powerful. Then when you kind of get used to the Legacy a little bit, it just feels like one of the contenders. But I do think the explosive nature of the deck with the counter magic, and of course the best combo in Legacy, Brainstorm plus Fetch Land, makes this deck just a little bit underrated. It's generally a great choice. It does have, does give up some points versus decks like Death and Taxes, where they can actually answer a lot of your kind of more common lines, but Omniscience has done a ton to shore up that matchup, particularly the Emrakul plan, where all of a sudden cards like Karakas really don't do anything. Very sideboarding. Looks to be a healthy amount of cards. He's a big fan of a Braid, what I've heard. That will be a 2-mana removal spell against everything in Todd's deck, both the creatures and those pesky artifacts. We saw Chalice of the Void and Thorn of Amethyst. So really, in this context, probably identical to Shatter in all likelihood. And there's Thorn of Amethyst off of Ancient Tomb, and that is quickly Force of Will. Thorn really creates a problem. Aptly named. Certainly a thorn in your side while it's on the board. Taking all of those cantrips, cards like Preordain and Ponder, and even Brainstorm, and doubling the cost of them, really making it difficult to slot them in around your other spells. Basically find yourself in a situation where all you're doing is digging, instead of digging and committing to the board, or digging and countering spells. See if Todd has any more disruption. Arcbound Ravager into Vault Scourge, so switching into aggro mode here. City of Traders playing out kind of textbook here. Preordain. City kind of surprised me there. I would have imagined and Kozilek's Return clearing the board. So Jerry answering both of Todd's lines here. Was a little surprised to see the City of Traders and then the Preordain. A lot of the time you're going to run out your cantrip before making your land drop, just in case you see something that makes you change your line. But here's Brainstorm. And Jerry has answered both the disruption of Todd and the little army he tried to amass. Needing to fire off that Kozilek's Return before Todd got to untap, whereas once he untaps, those Mishra's Factory really complicate things and can potentially keep the Ravager alive by sacking factories and Vault Scourge. Factories can pump themselves to stay out of range, so a lot of things can happen there. And then we see that City of Traders going to the bin. Jerry looking to rebuild his mana base here. Ancient Tomb hurting Todd, putting out that Lodestone Golem. But against 2 lands, that's definitely a trade you're happy to make there. Some life to really hinder this board development. It looks like a From the Vault Ancient Tomb from Jerry. Puts him right back up to 4 mana. He's able to draw Show and Tell. He will be able to cast it currently. Oh, and Wasteland from Todd. Presumably targeting that Ancient Tomb. Jerry fetching in response. And he's going to go ahead and abrade that Lodestone Golem. 4 damage coming in from the factories. Jerry 2 turns from death by manland. But the coast is clear. All the disruption has been kept off the board. Brainstorm putting 2 back. Does he have the fetch land to go with it? He does. Looks like an Expedition Misty Rainforest. And just manland after manland makes it tough to stabilize here. Down to just 2 life. The new manland pumping. Factory, of course, they're all factory workers here. That 1 remaining point of life. left to spend anymore, and it's on to game 3. See what he can do here. He's going to need something along the lines of Bristlebrand, and that is not it. But Todd taking it down in game 2, setting up game 3 here. Going to be on the draw. Sneak and Show not known for its first turn wins, but definitely a possibility. The deck does run Lotus Petal, and the ability to show and tell either Omniscience or one of your giant monsters on turn 1. Very, very good versus Todd. Just putting in a Gristlebrand or Emrakul likely to be good enough. Not a ton of cards that you're really going to see out of an Affinity style list like this. That can really handle that situation. Of course, you could conceivably play a card like Ensnaring Bridge, but I mean, your game plan is to attack, so really not at its best this type of list. But it is Legacy. The card pool is deep, so we'll see what Todd has for answers. A lot of room to be creative in this format. Most likely going to need to rely on cards like Chalice and Thorn of Amethyst. Try and push that combo out of range. Jerry sees a basic mountain in there. Card I'm typically not too thrilled to sleeve up. We'll see how that works out. It could be very good here in the face of Wasteland. An Ancient Tomb into Thorn of Amethyst. Jerry paying 1 for Lotus Petal, dropping Volcanic Island. Is a prime target for Wasteland. But it's going to be another Thorn. Now, Wasteland here still being tapped for a 3rd Thorn of Amethyst. And oh my goodness, this is going to be almost impossible for Jerry. He's going to have to pay 6 mana for Show and Tell at the minimum. And he is facing down a Wasteland with 4 mana. That is 3 more land drops. This is and 4 Thorns. Jerry Meme living up to his name here. Plays Sneak and Show, faces down 4 Thorns. 5 mana for a Walking Ballista. Of course, he's not affected by Thorn at all. The life total's absolutely no indication of who's winning this game. Todd has the clock that he needs. Jerry only capable of casting 0 drops here. Are we going to see a Wasteland yet? And it looks like Chalice at 0 and Steel Overseer. No, Arcbound Ravager. Got a counter on that guy because it's going to be a whole bunch more of them with the Steel Overseer. Steel Overseer going to be able to pump the entire team. And Arcbound Ravager, very good at making that final push with Walking Ballista. Very reminiscent of a vintage deck of prior generations using Triskelion with Arcbound Ravager. It does create the ability to essentially double the Ballista's power, and then he can sacrifice all those counters to finish off the game. Not necessary to go through with those fireworks, however. Jerry hacking it up as Todd takes it down on the back of 4 Thorn of Amethyst.
That's all for this one. If you enjoyed the video, please help grow the channel by subscribing. You'll be notified when we upload new videos like Fast Effect, Double Speed Magic with commentary, or Untapped, our raw tournament gameplay. Thanks for watching.